I always believed my husband was the one safe place in my life, the one person I never had to doubt. But everything changed the day I discovered who he truly was. That was the day my entire world collapsed, and I realized I had been living beside a stranger. My name is Emily Carter, and for 5 years I thought I had the perfect marriage. Michael was charming, thoughtful, steady, everything I had prayed for after a childhood filled with instability. We lived a quiet life in Ridgefield Falls, in a small blue house with a garden he tended every Sunday morning. He always kissed me on the forehead before work, always texted when he arrived, always smiled, always calm, always gentle. Too gentle maybe, but I never questioned it. I never questioned him. Not until the night I came home early from my sister's birthday dinner. The house was dark, except for a faint light coming from the basement. At first I didn't think much of it, until I heard voices. Not loud, just one voice. Michael's. He was whispering, soft and urgent. And the moment I walked down the stairs, the whispering stopped. Michael stood there frozen, his phone halfway back into his pocket. His face, usually so calm, looked pale, tense, almost panicked. "Em, you're home early." He said it with a smile, but the smile didn't reach his eyes. I asked who he was talking to. He said, "Nobody." Something inside me tightened. For the first time in 5 years, I felt fear. That night, he couldn't sleep. He paced the hallway for hours, and when he finally lay beside me at 3 a.m., his hand trembled when it brushed my hair. The next day, while cleaning the bedroom, I found something under his pillow. A second phone, one I had never seen before. It was locked not with his usual code, but with a number I didn't recognize. My heart hammered. Why would my husband need a secret phone? That was the moment the illusion of our perfect marriage began to crumble. Over the next days, I watched him closely. He left early for work, came home late, jumped every time his phone buzzed. He had become a stranger wearing my husband's face. One night, after he fell asleep, I tried the code again. I typed our wedding anniversary. Wrong. His birthday wrong. My birthday wrong. Then, it hit Maya's mother's birthday. Click. Unlocked. And that was the moment I realized the truth was far more terrifying than I imagined. The messages weren't from a woman. They weren't romantic. They were worse. Conversations with someone saved as AT coordinates, dates, times, money transfers, codes, photos of people I didn't recognize, and one message that made my blood freeze. Make sure she never finds out. She, me, I scrolled faster, my hands shaking. Michael, my gentle, responsible husband, was involved in something criminal, something dangerous, something he knew would destroy us both. I didn't know whether to scream or run. When I heard footsteps behind me, my heart stopped. He had woken up Emily. Put the phone down, his voice was calm, too calm. The calm of a man who had run out of ways to hide. He sat beside me and admitted everything. He wasn't the man he claimed to be. Not the quiet accountant. Not the harmless introvert. Before he met me, Michael had been involved with a group that laundered money. He had spent years trying to leave, but they wouldn't let him go. The secret phone, the hidden meetings, the late nights, they weren't betrayals of love. They were signs he was being pulled back into a world he had tried to escape. He said he lied to protect me, to protect us. But in that moment, all I felt was the ground disappearing beneath me. The man I loved, the man I trusted more than anyone, was a stranger with a past darker than I could have imagined. And I knew I could never go back to the life we had. I left that night with only a bag and my dignity. I didn't hate him, but I could no longer love a man whose truth had been built on lies. Sometimes the real betrayal isn't cheating, it's discovering the person you married never truly existed. And that was the day I found out my husband wasn't who I thought he was. The day I finally chose myself.